I think what is exciting about being in this profession is that you need a variety of competencies. And one of the big ones is one that is probably not mentioned very often, and that is curiosity. I think a real savvy PR pro is really curious about the world. They're curious about not only the field they're working in, so for example, I'm working in higher education, but also to be curious about other fields, because in those other fields you will find best practices that you can apply in the area that you're working at. So for example, I'm very curious about social media here in higher education, but I'm also following what the big brands are doing, because the big brands are really leading the way in innovative thought in social media. So I'm asking, how can we take what they're doing and apply here? So curiosity is something that's very key. Curious about the world, curious about politics, pop culture, ethnicities, different audiences, etc., etc. I also think it's important to read. Read everything, whether it's Slate, BuzzFeed, New York Magazine, New York Times, Wall Street Journal. That is where you're going to get information. That's where you're going to find what people are thinking, and that's where you're going to find where the trends are. And also it's very important because it'll really give you an idea of what your audience is thinking, what they're following, and what's going to grab their attention. Because as a PR professional, it's very important that you want to get the attention of your audience. And the big question today is, with all the clutter going on, how can I grab their attention? So be curious, read. The other very critical skill is to know how to write. Doesn't mean that you have to know how to write a Pulitzer Prize winning novel, but know how to write clearly, concisely, and in a compelling manner. Have confidence. Sometimes I don't have the confidence, but you can fake it till you make it. Read books or read articles on how to project a confidence attitude, because a PR professional is really at the front lines, whether it's talking to the president of a company or a CEO, or as I have done in my career, dealing with a celebrity or a celebrity's agent. So you have to be, it doesn't mean that you know all the answers, and if you don't know the answers to something, say, gee, I don't know the answer, let me find out. But definitely work on your confidence and work on your capabilities. I think that's also very important. The other very, very key trait that you should have, I think, to be successful is interpersonal relationships, because a public relations person is going to deal with a wide variety of personalities. So for example, one of the people that I deal with, who's very high up here at the university, she's very businesslike. She doesn't like chit-chat. She likes to get right to the point. So you have to be able to identify that personality, and when you sit down with her, you don't ask, gee, I can't believe it's raining again today, because she really doesn't care if it's raining today. She wants to be very businesslike. Whereas somebody else on a VP level likes to have the chit-chat, and she'll talk about the weather, and she'll talk about her weekend plans or vacation plans, and that is a way for me to be able to build a relationship with that VP. I deal with a lot of reporters, and they all have different kinds of personalities. I know the personalities that like to have a little humor, and they're very sarcastic. I also know the personalities that are very stressed because they're on deadline. So really be attuned to the person that you're speaking with and you're working with, and you have to be a little bit of a chameleon and really try to work with those personalities.